Okay, it's Saturday. It's the 5th of April. This is Weather Outlook. I'm Fred. And don't forget tomorrow, based on what Weather Outlook page you follow on Facebook, because there is two. One is from 7 to 7:30 and the other one's from 7:30 to 8. You can ask me any questions about the weather, anything you want to ask, I'll answer. And join me there. And let's just chat about next week. It's going to be cold, and there's actually for some parts of Pennsylvania 3 opportunities for snow, and also one sleet event that could reach all the way down towards southeastern PA, which um, would be kind of unusual for that far south. So I'll have to go over that, and I'm going to go over that today, and then tomorrow I'll just be on here at 7, and then you can ask any questions that you want about the snow and rain and sleet. So, all right, let's get to it. This is kind of what we look like Saturday. This is around 6 o'clock that these are the estimated temperatures. And you can see right here, yep, it's pushing that warm air south. We got 40 degrees on this side, 64 a few miles on the other side. So it's a pretty sharp front. And the rest of Pennsylvania, you can see there's a lot of clouds around here. There's even some showers that came through. So it's kept the temperatures down for the most part in north central, eastern PA, and New Jersey. It's kept the temperatures down a little bit. We just moved this a little bit ahead. This is around 8 o'clock. You can see the progress that it's made. And again, it's there's not much of a difference between here and there, but that warm air that's trying to come up from the south is where the front is trying to come through. And as you can see, there are showers involved with this. This is around 8 o'clock, and you can see the showers where the front is coming down. And as you can look down south down here towards Maryland and the Virginias, they got some thunderstorms popping up down there. But again, they're also in the warm air. And then this will work its way to the east around 10 o'clock. This is what it looks like. And if you look down here, this is south of Lancaster, kind of near Wilmington, heading over towards Philly. There's your clump of thunderstorms right there, near Baltimore, going that way. And we move this ahead, and they kind of look like they stick together until around 11 o'clock, and they're over Philly and Wilmington at that point. And as you can see out here, we have showers, but here's a steadier group of showers moving in. Temperatures at this point in time, the cold air has pretty much kicked everything down to the south, down this way, and cold air is pretty much chilly air. I'm going to say chilly air. 40s across most of PA, even down here towards Philly and Delaware and Jersey. Temperatures 40s, maybe still in the 50s or so down in Delaware. But as we go through the night a little bit, and I'll take you out to morning. Here's around 7 o'clock in the morning. That cold air is down except for down by Cape May and down by Dover and south. Temperatures are in the 60s. But north of that, look up here towards Erie. We got some temperatures up here. Went down, it gets down to 32 by morning up there. And the rest of the state is beginning to cool down a little bit. The precipitation overnight, as it comes through, let's back this up just a little bit. This takes you to around 3 in the morning. And you can see there are some downpours. Could even be a little bit of thunder. Wouldn't rule that out. For some reason, this spring is definitely, at least down by me, we've had our thunderstorms. And quite surprising we've had that many this early. This takes you to around 5. Here's 6 a.m. Here's 7 a.m. And if you look out here, 7 a.m., we got some freezing rain right along the edge of the front here. And because temperatures are dropped, like I said, some areas get down to 32. I don't think it's a big deal. So as this moves across the state, you can see that freezing rain kind of disappears in Pennsylvania. But this is around 9 in the morning, and it's raining, down south of Pittsburgh. It's raining in central PA, down towards Philadelphia, northern Jersey, into the Poconos. We move this out a little bit. This is around 11 o'clock in the morning. Things are beginning to die down. Here's 12 o'clock, and you can see it's south. But there's still some showers along the Mason-Dixon line. And then you have this coming in. This is 6 o'clock Sunday. And if you look up here, there's some sleet and freezing rain going on. I should say freezing rain. But then as it moves to the north overnight, this is around 8 o'clock. Some thunderstorms involved with this. And again, higher elevations up here getting some freezing rain. But then as this moves up into the Poconos, there is sleet up in this area up here of the Poconos. This is around 9 o'clock Sunday night, and you can see it's not a lot, but it goes by. But then it gets so cold behind this next area here. Here's your chance of snow here. Now these are your temperatures. This is around midnight, and you can see temperatures are below freezing in a lot of areas, close to freezing up in the Poconos. So it's going to be, if it rains, it's cold. We move this that little bit ahead to 2 o'clock in the morning. You can see 20s along the northern border up here in Bradford up this way. And then again, higher elevations below freezing. And the 30s have made it just to the north of Philadelphia here, so it's pretty cold. And then again, there's your precipitation around 2 a.m. Rain to the south and sleet and freezing rain in between. And here is your snow going on. Now it's not a big snow, but it's snow. As this moves on, this is around 4 a.m. You can see there's patches of some sleet in here with the snow behind it. And again, this is around 5. Here's 6. Here's 7 a.m. and the sleet's going on right now based on this would be in Allentown and Reading area, and the snow is beginning to back up. And but it just off and on. It's very light sleet. This is around 8 a.m. on Monday. Here's 9 a.m. and there's a little snow up here in the Poconos. I would say I think his name's John Ona. You're probably going to get some rain, sleet, and maybe a couple of snowflakes, but I think it's more rain and sleet you'll probably get out of this. But I know he's looking for more snow. But as you can see, it doesn't really begin to go away. Here's 11 o'clock, and it's finally heading away. But then look to the left in the corner. Here's a reinforcement of cold air. Now you've already got cold air in place. And then this next one coming through has a little bit of cold air to work with. It won't have to drop it so fast, but you can see the line right here. Temperatures below freezing on this side of the line. And if you look to the east down here, temperatures are in the 30s down here. But this will move across the state. This is Monday night now, and this is around 8 o'clock at night. You can see back here it's all below freezing. But the precipitation, this is your second round of precipitation with some messy weather involved, is working its way across the state. This takes you to around 10 o'clock Monday night, and you can see it kind of doesn't make it down the southern PA, but it does make it into northeastern part of PA. And again, it's not a lot. So between the first two, and there's more chances of precipitation later on next week because it's going to be cold. Your total snow is nothing to write home about, but you can see up here 2-3 inches through the Poconos, maybe an inch or so up there. But I guess your big thing to worry about would be, and again, this is sleet, very light amount of sleet. You're talking tenths of an inch, but just be aware that you could get a little sleet out of this, and I don't think the roads will suffer, but maybe some of the back roads it could accumulate on. But if you think about this, if you're talking 2/10 of an inch, and whatever, this is over a period of hours. So again, you'll have rain and you'll have some sleet on the back side of it, and again, some snow up in here. But that's your first chance. Now, your next chance, I'll show you in a second. And I'm going with the Euromap AI, which is doing pretty good with this. It actually thinks there's going to be a little bit more snow to the north up here, and it may spread into the Poconos. So if you go by this one, there could be, like I said, an inch or two up in the Poconos and the higher elevations. As we go later in the week, you can see it's starting to snow again out here Thursday, and the snow might give some accumulations, as you can see, especially into New England. But again, there's a chance of a little bit more snow later on in the week. And that might be the end of it, except for a little bit the following week, because temperatures will stay below normal. Now, this is below normal temperatures. If your normal highs, like say out here, your normal high in Pittsburgh's like 52, 53, subtract 14 from that, and that's kind of what your temperatures are going to be. And then I'm going to show you this cold air really starts pulling in behind that second front that I told you about Monday night. And you can see 20 some degrees below normal, and that's just moving to the east. And then we get into Wednesday, still temperatures much below normal. In the east here, 15 below normal in the Poconos, down by Philly, 14, 15 out in western PA, a little bit colder. And then Wednesday, here's Thursday, and you're seeing nothing but greens and blues. So we're below normal all next week. And then you get to Friday. Let's see. This is Thursday. This is that one snow event that comes across. Might have to watch that one because it could be a little stronger than it shows. This gets you into Friday, and you can see it tries to moderate, but then as that storm goes by, it pulls in more cold air on Friday, and then you can see temperatures are much below normal again on Friday. And then this cold air kind of just hanging around and gets reinforced every so often. Here's Saturday. Here's Sunday. It moderates a little bit. More cold air gets pulled in behind another storm. So there's Sunday. And well, if you're looking for spring, you're not going to find it next week. Now, here you go right here. This is Monday, the 14th. There's actually temperatures go from 20 to some degrees below normal to, 5, 6, 7, 8 degrees below above normal on Monday, the 14th. Warm air really gets sucked in ahead of a next front where it could be 15, 20 degrees above normal in some places. So you get heat next Monday and Tuesday, and then it kind of cools back off again as another front comes through. This would be Wednesday night, and it gets cold again. So, hey, guess what? It's April. This happens off and on. All right, now I'm going to do a live Q&A tomorrow. One weather page, whatever one you follow on Facebook. It'll be one's from 7 to 7:30, one's 7:30 to 8. Please tune in, ask questions. Keep me talking for that half hour so I don't run out of things to discuss. Last week, I think, or last time I did it, we ended up talking sports. So I don't care. So take it easy, be safe, and I'll talk to you tomorrow night live on Facebook.